Hi, my friends, Sam here. Listen, this season you're seeing a lot of girls walk in your salons and they're asking for that angle that works its way to the back. Welcome back, Farrah Fawcett. So hair is tending to move back and away from the face. Also, I want you to think about it. Those young girls that are coming in the salons are asking for a V in the back. So we really want to go through and get that V in the back and make it really simple. Never fear, Sam's here. Going to share that with you today as a hot tip. The ingredients that you're going to need, or the tools and products that we're going to need to achieve this, is I'm going to work with a white cutting comb, longer length because I'm going to be taking long sections, and a white one because I'm working on dark hair. I've also chosen to work with the 7-inch blade. Reason being, longer sections, longer length of blade, get there and just cut it. I'm going to work with my section clips because we're going to stay in control with sectioning. My products of choice, satinware and diamond oil. That's right, diamond oil by Redken. Satinware is 02, so I get a little bit of tack with the lotion. That's going to go on my hand first, and then I did diamond oil. Diamond oil is going to give me a little bit more slip. Blend the two together, which I've done, and you've got your cutting lotion. Now, let's get ready to begin. Remember, the goal is we want to achieve a nice soft angle around the face frame area into a V in the back. So let's begin with a center part. Regardless if they go left side part or right side part, I want you to begin this in the center. Next, let's create our guideline, establish the length. So we're just going to take a small diagonal forward section right at the top, in the beginning of the right front, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the left side. You're going to do this to create the guideline for both sides. Slightly diagonal forward, taking the same amount of hair. Bring these two sections together and marry them as one. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down and decide how long does a client, or where does a client want the angle to begin. In this particular case, we're going to go right at the lip area, or just above the lip area, right at the nose. I want you to come in and I want you to just notch this. And the reason we're going to notch this is so that we keep just a softer edge right there. If we cut it too blunt, it's going to be too heavy, and remember, we want this to swing back. Once we've established that guideline for both sides, now we're ready to graduate the hair. So what I want you to do is I want you to think inside out. Immediately start to layer the hair. Don't go in and cut that perimeter angle first. Let the graduation create the angle for you. Watch what I'm going to do. Take your clip and section away from the back. So I've actually taken the front to the back and I've actually separated that away. And we did that on both sides. Okay? Now, first section we're going to take is a diagonal forward section. So we take our diagonal forward section right to the corner of the eye. Now we're going to take our comb, and our comb is going to marry exactly that section. So from here we're going to comb and square straight up to that, folding the hair over my index finger and looking for my guide. There's my guide. Now this angle that I'm about to cut, that angle actually matches the same section, the angle of that section. So the two are parallel to each other. Look at the white comb, and you can see how they match up. That's going to allow you to create consistency. So I don't want you to just pick it up and cut it. Think about creating consistency for both sides. One of the most difficult things is to get them to match when you're cutting an angle that works from short to long around the face frame area. From here, my elevation is diagonal, so I'm elevating straight up, okay, right from where it's at, staying square to that section, elevation, coming up, my finger angle is parallel to the section, and I am just at inside of the nose. So now the next section is parallel to that. So we keep our section parallel to that. Now you'll see how that section is going to be parallel, and all I'm doing is working down the front right side area, working down parallel. Okay, so we come through, square, inside the nose, up to the angle, fold, and cut it. I don't want you to overcomb this. When you tend to overcomb it, you will tend to over-direct the section too much. When you over-direct the section too much, from the previous section, you start to lose the flow. Now check the long blade, get in there, and just close. Keeping the sections parallel, every section is parallel. Going to give you a profile view of this now. Coming through, there's my section. Watch the comb stay square to that. So I comb the hair square, straight up. Watch what I mean. If the comb goes in vertical like this, watch what you're going to do. You're going to comb out. Now look how I flatten that degree of elevation. If I stay square, there you can see the grain of the hair is elevated, all the same grain. The angle I'm cutting is parallel to that section. So we elevate up, fold it over your index finger. And the reason I want you to fold over the index finger is so you can see your guide instead of trying to see through the section to see the guide. Come through and close. Now, let's take the rest of the hair straight up. Now watch this. Here's where the inconsistency can happen. I want you to keep your comb vertical there. See the vertical line. See a horizontal line. Now I want you to go halfway, there's your diagonal line. Now watch all of the grain of the hair be combed that diagonal. So now this is about being consistent. Hot little tip. When you comb, immediately bring your holding hand immediately underneath the comb and just allow the comb to lead your finger angle to that position. And now simply come in and close, and you're good to go. And remember, my over direction, look where my hand is at. My hand is right on the inside of our nose, okay? Maintain that consistency on the opposite side. So what I want you to do is your mindset is in that degree of elevation, that finger angle, and that point of over direction. Immediately come to the opposite side so that you can create the consistency. In other words, if I cut this and then move to the back, now my mindset's moving into something different. I want you to keep your mindset the same. Everything comes up again, square the section, comb is square, up, there's my guide, fold over that, and now same angle. Now don't get caught up from the fact that on the right side, I cut her from the bottom up, and now on the left side, I'm cutting her from the top down. What I want you to worry about is keeping this consistent in terms of the placement of your comb and combing these angles. If people say, well, Sam, if there was one thing that creates a lot of mistakes when you cut, what would it be? My friends, you really want to know what it is? It's not your scissor, it's not your hands, it's not your mindset. It is this tool we call the comb. It's the comb that gets us in trouble. This comb, this tool gets us in trouble. Why? Because it's the way we comb. If we're not consistent in terms of thinking about that, every position you comb to could be a different position. Now you're creating inconsistency on one side as opposed to the opposite side. Maintaining all the way through. Continuing diagonal forward, remembering that every section is parallel to the previous section. Keeping square, look how I'll comb, hand, now, angle, and follow, and fold, and cut. When you cut, I want you to think about developing rhythm. Get rhythm when you cut, my friends. In the old days, I always used to overcomb everything, and that's because things were a lot more precise then. So what we want you to do is we want you to loosen up your mindset and think a little bit more loose. Now watch what happens. Let me give you a profile view of this. When you release this, look what we've automatically created. We've automatically created a diagonal line that works itself from short to long. And we did this on both sides. So here's what we didn't do, which is what I used to do in the old days, is I'd come in and I would take a diagonal back angle, comb it forward, cut the line in, and then layer up. You can see this can be quite time-saving. Now let's go to the back. When we go to the back, now we're going to repeat the same procedure, yet we're going to change our point of reference. So watch what happens. Release your clips. Remember, we section for control. I want you to take a vertical section right down center back. Okay? I want you to just isolate one section out of the way. Get this section out of the way, and now take your clip and legs up. It captures the hair. Once we're there, let's talk about what we just did in the front. Look at the sectioning we took in the front. We went diagonal down this way. Now I want you to imagine this section going to the back. So watch. Rock your comb back. Now you can start to see the sectioning I'm going to take in the back. The sectioning leads itself to the back. So when I go in the back, it's going to start to become more horizontal. But the point of reference I'm going to take it to is the ear, not to inside of the nose. Watch my first section. Let's go to this left side. Okay, so I'm going to come 3/4, give you a view of that. Go back and visualize your sections first. Now look at the section here. So now I'm up in the crown area, diagonal forward. I'm not going to over direct this to the nose. I'm going to simply lift from where it's at right there. Here comes my guide, and right here is where all this back section is going to go to. This is going to be able to give me that V in the back area there. Okay, now here we go. Same section. See how that's parallel? Okay, now it comes up, and the point of reference, once again, is the ear. So let me give you a square view of that. Look how my hand, when it comes up, my hand is over her ear. So I'm not overcombing past that ear. So you can see the point of reference changes. We come up, there's my guide. Now all you do is just follow that same guide. Isn't this interesting? Look at the angle I'm cutting now. That angle that we have is the exact same angle that you see in your section. So this is what we're trying to do, is give you a hot tip in terms of use your sectioning to follow these angles so you create the consistency you want to create. Let's continue to the back. Look at the sectioning. Just stay parallel to the previous section, my friends. Do not make this difficult. What I love about this is you don't need to section out a horseshoe. So this would be great, something nice, quick, and simple to do for one of these girls that comes in and says, I want my hair to feather back, I want it to move back away from my face, and I'm looking for a V. Now watch what happens. Everything here to the above the ear. Sam, how do I know when I'm at the ear? Use the spine of the comb. When the spine of the comb is at the ear, from here, just comb straight up, and you're in the cutting position you need to be. That's a great little tip to establish your point of reference. Otherwise, you overcomb. Now watch the back. When I release this back, watch the angle that this created. So it goes from short to long. Now I'm getting the point of length in the center. So I didn't go through, take a vertical section, take a section that does this on both sides, and carve that V shape in. I'm using my sense of graduation to create it. My friends, this is going to save you so much time in the salon. And I really feel that we got to keep things simple, especially in today's world. Let's go to the back right side. Once again, visualize your sectioning. Diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward. Rock it to the back. That gives you that section right in the back. Now I go same diagonal forward that hooks up into the front as if I was cutting into that front area. My point of reference is the ear. Remember, that is your point of reference. Now we come through, we comb up, making sure my hand is over the ear. Look at the angle. Let the white comb lead you to that angle. There's that angle right there. That's exactly where we need to be. Come through and cut. I'll give you a little bit of a 3/4 view on this so you can see the angle. Comes forward, come through. When we graduate, I want you to work with the fine teeth of the comb. I know a lot of people out there love one comb where all the teeth are the same width. They're a little bit wider all the way through. That's a great comb to use for natural curly hair. When you're going through and you're actually graduating the hair, we recommend that you work with the fine teeth of the comb. The reason you want to work with the fine teeth of the comb is because it compresses things more. When you get a little bit more compression, you get a little bit more of a softer edge, and that's the object in this. Okay? Anything that does not reach, my friends, don't cut it. Remember, the point of reference we're taking to the over direction is to over the ear. Look at my degree of elevation, how I'm elevating that hair. Now watch what happens. When we're done, you're going to go through, and I want you to just comb it down, and now you just start to see an outline, and you've got graduation inside, where the outline has that angle in the front, and then it leads you into this V in the back. Now once I'm here, this is where I would adjust this length, and you simply come through and take off what it is that you want to take off. My friends, this is a great simple way to go in and create a V. You'll love doing it. Keep it simple, and remember, that's what we're all about, is bringing you things and ideas that you can use behind the chair. Have a great day, and try this. You're going to love it.